Hello everyone, my name is Pável and I'm here to tell you about the reality of education in Mexico. And better yet, how we're going to change that reality. So this is Paloma Noyola Bueno. She's a 12-year-old girl who lives in Matamoros, Tamaulipas, a border city with Brownsville, Texas. And this area has been heavily hit by drug cartel violence in the past years. She's the youngest of 8 children, sustained only by her mother because her dad passed away 3 years ago. So what are the chances of a girl under these tough circumstances to thrive? Very slim, actually close to none. Well, in 2012, Paloma scored the highest in the Mexican version of SATs. She was the number 1 in the whole country. And she also made it to the cover of Wire magazine. So how did she do that? Well, she had a great professor, Sergio Juarez Correa, who implemented a highly motivational learning environment that he learned about from the internet. So the biggest lesson from this success story is that when we combine the use of technology with investment in human capital, we can yield great results. But how about is the education system in Mexico? In 2012, the PISA examination showed that we were 34, the last among members of the OECD. Only 20% of our kids don't make it past elementary school, and only 1 out of 7, that's 14%, gets a college degree. Our youth between 15 and 19 years old, 1 in every 5, that's 18%, doesn't go to school and doesn't have a job. And that number goes up to 25 in the next age group. So what are we going to do about this? Our solution is to use technology and human capital to give the teachers better tools so they can improve their education outcomes. We want to create a data-driven decision-making culture among teachers in Mexico. So teachers have been taking data forever. It's everything from attendance to test scores. But what we're going to do is use the technology to leverage that information and through the use of data metrics have them take better decisions for their students. This is Educa MX. Technology and human capital. We're going to provide an online platform where teachers can input their everyday data into the system and combine with a year-long teacher training program that will teach them how to use adequately all this data that's being collected. So the technology component of the program will allow the teachers for planning, looking at their students' past measurements, helping them to set goals. It will also provide them with ongoing monitoring so they can have early awareness of when their students are at risk of falling off track, and they can have an ongoing monitoring of their performance. It will also allow parents to engage with their kids' education through access to the platform, but also to keep them informed and make them part of their kids' education. One of the biggest components of the platform is this peer-to-peer collaboration, where the teachers can use aggregate data to show patterns on the group. They can share the best practices and detect failing techniques. So all of this data will be collected and will create a collective body of knowledge both at the groups and individual levels that will be passed on for the next year's teachers so they can start again their planning phase. On the human capital component of the platform, this year-long training program for the teachers that will be implemented on the first year of the platform will take the form of monthly workshops, helpline for the teachers, and online tutoring to allow them or to help them make the best out of all the data that's being collected. So this is very important right now because this data-driven dashboards are non-existent in the education system in Mexico, and because the other solutions out there that focus only on the tech side and not on the human capital, and we believe you need both in order to change the culture. Our project will be charged a fee per usage base. So the projected fee, it's $1 per month per student during the 9 months of the implementation, 9 months of schooling. So we're asking for $100,000 to kickstart this venture. This money will be used to develop the platform and the contest for the teacher training program. So we're looking for a kind soul that to provide this money. And our projections show that by the 4th year, we would be profitable and even recovering the initial investment. The pilot will be focused on elementary schools, private elementary schools in Mexico City, and we will try to reach 260 schools by the 4th year. That's 20% of the private elementary schools in Mexico City. The scaling potential is huge since there are over 8,000 private schools in Mexico. But Educa MX is a social enterprise. So after the 4th year that we become profitable, we will dedicate our profits to implement the system in public schools. Our projections show that the ratio will be 3:1. For every 2 private schools implementing the software, we could have 1 public school implementing it for free. That is until the results we're getting will eventually convince the government to fund fully the program for all public schools. So this is our growing team of Educa MX. And this is Paloma Noyola's classroom. 5 out of these kids made it to the top 10 on Mexican SAT the same year she did number 1. This is what we want to replicate. So let's transform the Educa Mexico one school at a time. Muchas gracias.